Today we're going to be going over a controversial and toxic conversation that resides within the 300 community, the 300 gang, man. And that is, why do the V6 owners get so much hate, man? Why y'all hating, man? Why y'all out there hating on the V6 owners, man? How come y'all can't just let them be? Leave them boys alone, man. They love their car. If you have a V6, well, I say you skip this list and take that thing straight back to the dealership, trade that thing back in, and get you a V8 Hemi thing. With it? You know what? We'll get back to this after the intro. Hey, who put that clip in there, man? What's good, everybody? Mr. J here, and today, that's right, we are answering the question, why do V6 owners of 300s get so much animosity? Before that, for those of you who are new here, my name is Mr. J, and this is my 2013 Chrysler 300 SV8 Hemi thing, man. If you love the Chrysler 300, if you love fast cars, if you love custom cars, and especially if you love doing it yourself, hit that subscribe button, man. You found the right spot. We do all of that here on Gotham Hemi and more. All right, so back to the question at hand. Why do V6 owners of the Chrysler 300 receive so much hate? And to be clear, I actually don't hate V6 300s. I really don't. I'm a true proprietor of to each their own. Would I ever drive a V6 300? No, but that is for me. That's my point of principle. That's what I stand in, and that's what I believe in. That doesn't mean that I'm going to pressure anybody else to not drive a V6 and to only drive V8s, you know what I'm saying? I do joke about it, absolutely, but there really is no animosity for me towards V6 300s. Like I said, to each their own. What works for me doesn't work for you, and I don't need it to work for you, and you shouldn't need what works for you to work for me. The only thing that really matters at the end of the day is if you love your car, man. If you drive a 1986 Volkswagen Bug that's falling off at the rims, if you love it, I love that. So, getting into the topic at hand, though, there is actually a definitive answer for why Chrysler 300s, specifically from any other V6 car, because it's not like you V6 owners that are 300s are, you know, archetypally different than anybody else out there. If you drive a V6 Mustang, if you drive a V6 Camaro, you know, something that has a V8 older brother, they get in the same hate right alongside with you. Like I said, at a very skin level, it just boils down to V6 versus V8. But there is a bigger reason. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, you know, going back to the skin level, you know, everybody's got older siblings, man. Everybody's got older brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. Somewhere in the family tree, you have an older sibling. And they always gonna let you know that, right? That's all it comes down to. And don't worry, V6 owners, you all are not alone. I guarantee you. I got a V8 Hemi thing, and I hear it from 392 drivers all the time. Like, oh, you got a 5.7, man, you ain't making no noise. You should have at least started with a 392 or gotten a Hellcat if you really wanted to make some noise. Right? They asking if I was trying to make noise. They just assume that I'm trying to make noise. But that's all good. Look, to each their own. You know, and if you really like having a V6, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a V6. But when it specifically comes to the 300, like I've been saying, there is a deeper rooted cause for animosity. And it really has to deal with the history of the car. To understand this, we gotta go all the way back to 1951. 1951, y'all, to understand where this animosity comes from. In 1951, and an individual named Robert McGregor Roger, who Hemi owners, Mopar lovers might recognize Robert Roger as the first individual to put a V8 Hemi inside of a car. In 1951, Robert Rogers took on a project. He had an idea of putting the V8 Hemi engine inside of a car. It had never been done before at that point. He wanted to be the first one to do it. So from the ground up, he built a car specifically to house and run off of the V8 Hemi. As you've already probably put two and two together, that first car was the Chrysler 300s. Hey, that Charger, boys. Y'all be throwing 300 dislike and hatred all the damn time, but I know you guys know that the 300 sired the resurgence of the Charger and the Challenger in 2005 by, building the platform that both of those cars were built off of. But now you can understand that even back in 1955, the 300 sired the Charger and Challenger, the platforms that would ultimately become the Challenger and the Chargers. Know your history. Know your history before you start hating on the cars, man. In 1955, the Chrysler 300 was released with 300 horsepower. So not only was the car built from the ground up to hold the V8 Hemi engine, the name 300 comes from how much power that engine was putting out. It's not a King Leonidas reference. It is a reference to how much horsepower the original V8 engine that was first put in a car was putting out. After its release, it was one of the fastest cars on the road with a 0 to 60 time of 9.8 seconds, and its top speed logged in at 130 miles per hour. Archaic numbers to be sure, but at those times these numbers were groundbreaking to the point that the 300 was actually in NASCAR races as more than just a pace car, and they do own several trophies back in those days. Now fast forward all the way till today, and we know things have changed a lot. Anybody who's putting out 0 to 60 in 9.8 seconds, you gotta be on a horse, right? But it does go to show that there is, for those who have the deeper understanding and a richer history of cars, there is an understanding for why specifically the 300 V6 does receive more criticism than any other car that is a V6 that has older brother V8s, and why drivers of Chrysler 300 V6s feel a little bit more that animosity than anybody else. Now, I'm not saying that everybody knows this information, but how things transcend history, people might not know it, but this is where the habit of hating things come from, is deep-rooted history, right? Now, I would say that you should never hate any of your V6 brothers. We all 300 gang, right? The 300, from a namesake, from a build, was never intended to have a V6 engine in it. So from a certain ideology, putting a V6 engine in a car that was named after the horsepower of a V8 engine that it was specifically built to house can be rather obtuse, rather insulting, if you will. It's just kind of backwards thinking. Like, if you name a hamburger a burger, and it was first named a burger with meat in it, you don't go and make a whole bunch of vegetables, slap them together, and call that a burger. A burger is a burger because it has meat, right? It's kind of the same meat and potatoes. The 300 was named after the V8 engine. So when you name something after the V8 engine, it's rather backwards to put that V6 in there, but it's there. And, you know, people love it, and everybody should love that somebody loves their car. Well, there you have it. The actual definitive answer to why V6s at the 300 level get so much criticism, so much animosity, so much hate. If you didn't know that, hit that like button. If you did know that, still hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. Stay tuned. More vlogs, more DIYs, more products coming soon. I got the Permashine tire dressing. We're gonna give that a look. It's supposed to last for months as opposed to days or weeks. So we're gonna be installing that on Gotham Hemi and the Rango, putting it to the test, see how long it lasts for, and if it's gonna be worth your hard-earned money. All right, everybody, I'm Mr. J. It's gonna put the wraps up on this one. Like I say, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned. Big things always gonna continue to happen here on Gotham Hemi. And until next time, V6 owners, keep trying to keep up, man. We out. What are you doing? All right, you ready now? Okay, here we go.